Hi, I'm Roy Obery. I own GWM and HAVAL in Edenvale, Johannesburg. I've had the dealership for the last 15, 16 years now. The most popular GWM and HAVAL product at the moment would mostly be the H6 GT. It's a really sporty looking derivative in the H6 range, which has found great acceptance in the market. It's also dependent on the time of year and stock availability from the factory. So we find towards the December period the P-Series sells very well, and at other times the Jolien's found incredible acceptance in the marketplace. It's also a strong seller across the board. And then obviously on the Bakkie side, the P-Series is well received in South Africa. The LT, the high spec derivatives, are really great sellers. Being a Chinese car manufacturer has always brought with it certain challenges. And originally, it was a hard sell to a client to convince him to buy a Chinese car, because the perception from a cell phone to a car was very, very different. You would buy the cell phone at the drop of a hat, but suddenly a Chinese car would be a whole different ball game for him. But that perception has changed, I think. The Chinese manufacturers have found favor in South Africa. I think the consumer realizes that the Chinese manufacture incredible quality product. As the Chinese came to understand our market, Great Wall have really stepped up and they've developed the product over the years. Vehicles have to be tough to survive our climate. I suppose we've come from being sort of an entry-level player to a manufacturer and a brand that's considered amongst sort of the best out there, So we found our place in the sun. You always get the story of how long it took the Japanese to convince South Africans to buy their products, and it mostly took them 20 years, and then it took the Koreans, they also took them 15 years, and the Chinese have sort of become really acceptable with HAVAL in 5 years. So it just shows the pace at which the change has done that, how mature the brand has become in a very, very short period of time. I think it's a very interesting time for the car market. If you look at it, everybody is battling, how everything's escalating in price, how difficult it is for people to come out on their salaries, etc., etc. And I think COVID also had a big effect on people's perceptions and things that are important to them in terms of bonds and car payments and that, and getting value out of stuff in life. We've got a wonderful space there because our product has escalated to such a level that it's a premium product. It's packed with features, packed with European design at a discounted price, and that vehicle is going to be really cool. It's going to have all the features and it's going to have all the reliability that the more expensive vehicles have. So I think there's going to be a fundamental shift in the market towards the Chinese manufacturers, and the Chinese automakers as a whole are going to become much, much bigger players in the global market. And I think the European and the Japanese and Korean manufacturers are going to find it harder and harder to compete against them. Having sold the cars for so long, there's a myriad of stories of people who were skeptical about the brand, bought one, then bought another, and then half their family now own them. That shows, I think, how we've reached maturity. We've arrived in that space where people like the product. It's a smart decision. It's so cool to think, we're part of this revolution that's coming from it.